Okay, 1 second actually. We created this really cool newsletter called The Weekly. And if you subscribe, the link's in the description, you're going to get a ton of sales and marketing and workflow tips and just general owner's tips that's going to be able to help improve the state of your business. We scour the net for all kinds of these tips, plus pull it from different customers that are doing amazing things. Hopefully you'll find this useful. Again, it's called The Weekly. It's an email every week. Subscribe down below.
Hey, what's up, print hustlers? Welcome back to another shop tour. We are with Ty out of Cole Apparel. We're in is this San Fernando Valley?
This is San Fernando Valley.
San Fernando Valley, San Fernando City. We got producer Chris with us too. He's got the second angle. We got some legit audio. I mean, maybe the tech stuff will work this time. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm gonna show you guys as much as you can. Ty will show you as much as possible. And let's take a look. Really cool shop.
Cool.
All right, so wait.
Play the great music. Play the
play some really cool like drop beat right here.
Yeah.
So this building, can you just talk overview of size, how long have you been here, things like that?
We've been here just a little over a year.
Okay.
We moved from a production. This production is 11,000 square feet. We came from 2,300 for production.
Okay.
And yeah, it's been a good move. You know, we're trying to just max out the space. As everybody knows, you run out of space really fast. So.
Are you mainly contract then?
Yeah, pretty much.
So that's why the entrance and everything, that's why it's super low key.
Yeah, it's pretty low key.
Yeah.
We kind of do 90% contract, and we have a few big resort customers, smaller resorts that we deal with.
Got it.
You know?
A lot of the people we do the podcast with are always talking about how contract is really hard to make work, and they try to switch into direct to consumer. Oh. What's your thoughts?
It's a dream to go direct to consumer. Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
You know, we have such good relationships, and we started just from, we sold a lot of t-shirts. I worked with a sales company that sold a ton of t-shirts, and we just having a lot of trouble having production take care of all the different needs that we had of just all the sales that we could generate. And so that's what got us into it. Was deciding to do it on our own, and that was probably the, a curse. No,
how many team members you have?
We've had about 30, and we've cut it down to about 24.
Okay.
You know, we just started focusing on being more efficient. Information moving through the shop and those type of things that cause to where you feel like you need extra people. Yeah. There's a lot of work to do, but we just focus on efficiencies, and it's been a long run, but it's coming around.
All right, let's take a look.
Okay. But yeah, the crew's shutting down. Probably our biggest problem was information, how information moved through the shop. When you have contract customers, especially as wily as the ones that we do, they might change things last minute, and how that information would move through the shop. I would stand out here and watch, and I'd see the information trickle from person to person, and having to replace work orders and things like that. And that was actually probably the biggest waste that we had, was just having to everybody pass along the information, reprint out a work order.
And how'd you fix it?
We went paperless.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we went paperless. We do everything. We got.
So what does that mean? There's
computers everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go check that out.
But these are just a couple of old computers, but technology's come a long way with the touch screens. Like HP makes a great 23-inch touch screen.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna log in here, looking at whatever. Like, we still use Printavo for all of our approvals, graphics for when we use them. They're fully integrated, and that's a great, we're not leaving Printavo anytime soon.
Yeah.
This is definitely something I wanted to show you, but like here we see, this happens to be the folder, but like press 4, you can see the jobs that are ready, and they can click into this job. They can check the artwork. This is not that great of a proof. We have better proofs. But they press play when they start on this part of the operation. Like this job is done.
And then it'll start recording the time it takes to do it.
Yeah, so it gives us, this is how actually we're gonna stay on track this year, is for every job, I can see how much time we put into it, how much it costs us to do everything about it. And for a shop like ours, it's like every second counts, you know?
So have you started since January? You've been doing this?
Really started diving hard into this, and then the scheduler came out in like December. I was like, oh my God. So
That's okay.
I really would like to take a look at the schedule. I haven't had any time.
So has there been any eye-opening things about timing or waste that you started to find?
Yeah, definitely. Customer had a problem with a bunch of tie-dye hoodies and like just little spots. It's all very difficult tie-dye, and we have to spend basically 12 hours going through all of them and pulling those out. Now I can see those 12 hours, bill them for it, call them and just say, hey, you know, this is actually what it costs me if these problems occur. It gives me a lot more control over what's happening. Otherwise, like, hey, there's a problem, fix it, and then it just kind of adds on at the end of the month. You know, when you start looking at all of the accounting and you start saying, oh wow, we lost a couple $100 here, lost a couple $100 here. It's relatively new to us, but if I even went to a different system, probably the key thing is how information travels. Like a lot of the big boys from a lot of your interviews, that's something that I think they have on lock, is they're sophisticated. You know,
everybody, even some of these big shops are all figuring it out. And a mix of paper and digital.
This isn't perfect though, too. Like it was created for manufacturing, so their item inventory is way too extreme for how we run things. Like we'll just pull it out. Okay, it's complete. Goes to the press. It's like the software wants you to pick every piece.
Got it.
It wants to track every single piece, which is a little. It's too much. So we're just dialing that in.
Got it. So you're using what you can from it. Is this bad boy out of commission?
Yeah, it's probably got to get it working and then see what the street value is, you know. But yeah, yep. Another big thing that we did was just taping off the floor.
Oh, really?
Trying to say there's a place for everything. That helped us a lot. Last year we were chaotic. When we moved in, we got rid of all.
Oh, you literally put tape everywhere. I didn't even notice on this side too.
Yeah, this is receiving, or this is overflow.
Okay.
Is this color? Yellow is like pathways as well as stop points for moving up to, like, we have a neck label machine over there.
Got it. So walk me through the flow. So
sure.
Offices that was just that desk that you were at?
That office is a separator's desk. He likes to be on the production floor.
Okay.
And then project managers are in the office, HR's in the office, my desk's in the office, and then there's a place we could sit down. There's actually a conference table.
Okay, cool.
Stuff like that.
So yeah, walk us through then the darkroom.
Sure, we can start over here.
Because I went to another shop recently and they had it set up just like this with this plastic, and their reasoning was it gives them the ability to change the room as needed versus putting up drywall. And
oh yeah, it gives a lot of versatility to that. We used wood, but if you use electrical strut, that is very versatile. It's totally a room that's not permanent.
And what is the plastic called?
I looked at welder's curtains. If you have an automatic welder that's going to be a robot welder that's just going to be welding certain pieces of pipe all day long, they put this around it so it blocks all that harmful UV light. But it also protects our screens as well. And this was an idea given to me by the guy who set up the press, Ron, from Ronco. The great guy. He set up our shop, and this was his idea. And you can buy it online. You look for welder's curtain. I think they have like 4 colors, but we just went with blue since our machinery is blue. A couple improvements that still need to be made in here, like probably taking this apart, putting in new lighting. But we've tried to, from storage to a nice flow all the way around.
So how does that work? So they're just stored by mesh count?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and size. So we'll probably eventually just go to all the same size at 26 by 36.
Got it.
Would be the size that we would go to. What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah. Okay. This is Bruce from Printavo.
Oh.
He's the,
nice to meet you.
The founder of Printavo.
Nice to meet you. Do you have a machine that's coding, or are you coding everything?
We do coding by hand for now.
But then you got the eye image on here.
Sure.
So everybody said that either iImage, without it, or any sort of CTS is the best purchase equipment-wise that they've made.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that.
You think so?
Yeah, it really, I think it has a lot to do with your culture. When we first got it, it took a little bit of convincing. It took a little convincing from press operators that it actually worked, and some practice. A younger guy to show them that, hey, this actually works. And then it starts coming where we've bought a couple of older refurbished pieces of equipment, and they have to be set up right to be able to, every head to be able to tri-lock correctly. So it's a lot of work all the way around. It's not a turnkey, unless, hey, I got a new press coming in and I've got this machine coming in, and then while the tech's there, you do all your testing with your tri-lock. And so then you can dial it in, but one head might act a little bit differently than another head. So even if this is spot on, you might still have problems on press. So it's constantly a work in progress with maintenance and time to put in that maintenance. But it is, because you'd see film everywhere. I think I have one piece of film in the whole shop, so probably over there.
And did you frame it, or?
I'm thinking about getting rid of it.
It's just hidden under a table?
We're gonna go bigger size, and we'll probably have to get a film output for that. Anything that's 36 inches wide.
Is that because your customer base is it like more streetwear stuff or retail stuff?
They definitely want faux belt prints. Faux boat prints, but they want faux belt prints is a lot of what these guys are. There's this kind of need that's been coming around, and they ask about it. And one of our printers can do 36-inch wide print. So we have the special pallets in for that. We'll be getting our film in this big exposure unit. We'll give it a shot. It takes a lot of DIY and figuring out, because these are all, we're super hot in the 80s and the 90s, and there's not a lot of people that have experience with it. So you just have to try it out and see how it goes.
Would you say there's a second piece of equipment that you really liked or would buy again?
Probably it is industrial sewing machine, just to sew on labels. We used to send that all out. And as soon as we brought that in, and a sewer that really knew what she was doing, for how much they cost for the footprint, it's probably one of the best investments. I know that sounds kind of funny.
What's an industrial machine run?
It was about $900 used.
But it sounds like it's the person also that really
having skilled talent is really key. Or someone that can train well.
Right.
Can train somebody who's.
How did you find that person?
There's a lot of sewers around. I think at the time, a lot of big shops were closed. So at the time, we were able to find a little network of sewers.
So this was pretty recently then?
Yeah. That was probably about 6 months ago when we got the sewing machines in.
Very cool.
Yeah. But I mean, if you want to put that in, but yeah, that was one of the best things. Looking at all the gas, the electrical, the size of these presses, and then just to have a sewing machine being able to crank out like $1.50 label. It's like, what? We work so hard, just the compressors to run this place compared to a $900 sewing machine and an efficient sewer.
Yeah.
But we'll do crazy things like open up sweatpants, print on them, and then sew them back together.
Oh, wow.
And all of that, it gives you so much more versatility.
This is very specialty. Like, you guys have really niched into that.
Yeah. I found
space.
And then if you go to some of the sewing places downtown, they have some really legit, crazy machines to do some wild things. I did find one they'll just sew inside of a pocket, like sewing in a pocket, like just a patch on the outside of a pocket is a special sewing machine. So we actually doing a bit of that, like sewing inside pockets, inside of a sleeve, just getting a little patch right there.
Sweatpants that are opened up, printed on the inside, and sewn back together.
Well, they're opened up and then printed all as much around the leg as
on
much
the
fabric
outside.
as there.
I thought you were saying okay.
Yeah, to like fully try to maximize that instead of cut and sewing it from the beginning. It'll be like a small batch of 100 or something like that. And yeah, reclaim area. You've probably seen a lot of these.
What's your thoughts on to automate or not to automate the rest of that?
I feel do it when you're ready. It really depends on efficiencies, space. Some of those auto reclaimers are pretty big. Moving here was a really big jump for us. I think it was 120 grand to move in. Moving equipment, electrical was like 25,000.
So just getting real comfortable.
Yeah. And
space financially. That's fair.
I thought just talking about efficiencies would bring about a better understanding. Like you go into the whole lean, and a lot of those concepts and you really bring them up and work on it with the team. But there's a lot with really taking matters, like a lot's happened from just taking matters into my own hand. Instead of, like I love to meet with the managers and really talk about concepts with them, but getting away from not giving a concept, but giving like a real solid, like even if I gave a floor plan of what I needed done. I don't know, I think I'm surrounded by printers that love to print, so if you start to say, hey, we're also gonna do some maintenance or something, they're like, well, I'm in the middle of printing, like I don't want to do that. So it's been an interesting journey.
That's fair.
That's to say the least.
And where does everything come in? So is that the big loading dock on this side?
Yeah, it's just one roll-up door. I'd love to have two, then it'd be shipping and receiving. Like we are trying to get the space next door. This whole finishing area, this would be receiving, that would be shipping.
Got it. And this is all bagging, tagging.
Yeah, like in January we got the auto folder installed, barcoding. You know, everybody needs a barcode now. A lot of this is going to 3PLs. They need a barcode on it.
Got it.
So we got the auto labeler, and as you start really crunching your numbers and times that certain projects take, you see where you need to invest. Like if reclaiming was something was just hounding on us all the time, shortage of people, like a buddy of mine has a reclaim, he has a shortage of people, and now his shipping manager can reclaim in the morning using the machine and he doesn't have to hire somebody else. But our reclaim guy will also work on a press, mixing, he moves around so well.
Did you teach him all that, or did he know that from before?
A lot of these guys have had experience.
Okay.
Which is good, and then also tough.
Well, I'm just curious on QA, right? Especially in a contract shop, what have you found as a good best practice? Incoming goods, are you counting everything? Is it
definitely counting everything? You don't want to have to redo. You don't want another box to come in the next day and then have to set that up again. So everything gets checked in. If it's incomplete, it either gets approved as incomplete or we're waiting for another box to come in. Obviously our receiving area is in just pristine shape. Beautiful. Yeah.
And then how does the sampling work? Is that for every job, or is that for
No, only
people that
specific
pay for
jobs.
it?
A lot of our customers are photo approval. And then there are certain things like that project that you saw where it has to go to the client's client and get approved. Our photo approvals with the customers that we probably only have 8 customers, and we get them grooved in. We use Basecamp for all communication. Everything's really laid out. If we bring on a new customer, we have to groom them, and they kind of groom us, and we get to get used to working together. But photo approvals is a big deal. If we know it's going to take time, we'll just sample it. You know, probably one of the issues we run into is if you do it by hand and then you want to put it on a piece of production equipment, they're different. So trying to bridge those gaps as much as possible, but bridge those gaps as much as possible. Like, you know, this jacket right here, it changes color in 24 hours. So you need to print it a certain color, wait 24 hours for it to change.
And send them the photo.
Yeah, like it just happened where we printed the sample, and see, like something like this will most likely have to be blurred out, unfortunately. But this is a different color when we printed it. And then it changed color in 24 hours. And with the polyester, we've tried every base under the sun. But yeah, these are the type of things, polyester, these are the type of things that I definitely want to stay away from. And by managing the hours, we can see how much extra time we've had to put into it. So it's like, for next time, I've already
So is that entered into that other system as far as the time to wait?
How much time it took. But the estimated time is already put in there. Like you have your estimation. So like, okay, this is going to be a $500 job. It's going to be a $10,000 job in labor.
Now, is all this measured on those walls? I saw a bunch of whiteboards over there that had numbers of impressions per day, or?
Yeah, we were doing that last week, and I think it's gotten a little crazy, so we haven't updated it. But yeah, those are just the counts. The game that we were playing, like we had a...
Can we see that?
Sure, yeah, it's a little, it got smudged a bit, but yeah.
So this
You're
is
talking about this one here? Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, it's been smudged, but yeah.
And so what were you trying to measure, and how did it go?
It's really just, one is letting the team know what they do. So sometimes it's a mystery, at least in this shop, our catchers are counting everything. The operators are just focusing on the print. So then just posting up, like, this was a really good week for us. So it was just posting it up, and then Friday we had a party. I don't know, we don't have any counts for Friday, but we do have stats. This was just something that we put up. Like all the catchers put in their stats, the screen room puts in their stats.
Got it.
Like basically what they've done.
And is this impressions?
Yeah, this is just impressions.
And then do you do this every week is the goal, and then to celebrate hitting some sort of number on Friday?
Especially when I see a good week coming up, like we have a couple of good sized runs, and then if we ran into a bug, like we ran into a bug in something so the department got behind, we tend not, it's like, all right, let's get through the bug and then try to get back on track. Trying to explain that. But yeah, it was just a really good week, so I threw it up there. Had like the shipping manager throw it up, and then we had a party at the end of the week.
Let's check out the
Want to go in the office?
office, and then ink room, or ink wall rather.
This is the office. Do a little printing in the printing by the desk. Oh, this is my desk. So you can tell it's got a lot of everything on it.
New laptop.
Yeah. Just,
Little tablet.
Yeah, a tablet too. Becky's the shipping manager, but she's also going to be on the production floor just checking on everybody, making sure at least the admin is correct, like you're logged into the right thing. And she has a lot better, if she doesn't have to log them out to log in,
Got it.
it's a lot easier to manage with like a good touchscreen.
Nice.
Yeah, but
Does DTG work, or is more for testing?
it works great. It's just in our floor plan. DTG hasn't been a big, strong point of sales for us. A lot of the guys that come to us, they want screen printed goods. There'll be a stint where we'll do, a few hundred, maybe a couple thousand. One big customer wants something digitally printed for some project. But generally we screen print everything, But yeah, I went down that road. I really like that machine. I could take that machine apart, clean it, put it back together, and it works really well. It hasn't been maintenance for a few days, and it'll run just as fine.
Nice.
It's just I didn't put it out on the floor plan. There's just so much stuff moving around out there. Mm-hmm. This would have to be like a department grown at a different location, digital, to have it be fully in a comfortable space. It's just in here, being hanging out. We might sell it, I'm not sure. It just isn't something that they buy a lot. We're kind of, I think as this year goes and we get organized, we'll start looking at marketing and what do we want to do that's more on the offensive instead of defensive. We're already defensive, like just handling what comes in. And so, we'll start looking at that.
Let's check out the ink department then.
Sure.
Actually, quick stop before the ink department.
Yeah,
I wanted to see. So this is a touchscreen.
Yeah.
And then about how much is this? It's like a 27 inch or something, 25
I
inch?
thought it was like 23 and a half.
Okay.
Here. 24.
That's actually really nice.
Yeah.
And a couple $100.
Yeah, I got them open box from Best Buy.
Okay.
You gotta save where you can. But you can dive into a work order and see.
And you don't need a keyboard. That's actually really nice.
Right around $500 or something. Maybe it was $400. Got them in open box at Best Buy, and it just seems like technology's really coming around to be able to lay this stuff out a lot easier for the team.
So what is the goal to have it here? Obviously pulling up order details, mock-ups. What else do you want them to be doing here?
That's a big one, just because from here to the production manager's desk, we do have radios, but it's, 50, 60 feet. He's going to have to walk all the way over there just to double check.
Oh, so this is for him to pull stuff up mainly?
Oh yeah, this is for this operator here.
Got it.
And for these guys as well, so they can bring up their proof and kind of see.
Oh, and I was like, is that webcam? But it's part of the monitor.
Yeah, which, I don't want everybody being able to hack into the shop and see what we're up to. But yeah, this is really nice. You get your schedule lined up for each department. When they come into work, it's not as much. It's the powwow at the beginning could be more social and more team related, and then when they come back to the workstation, they can see the schedule.
So do you do morning meetings or at the beginning of the week?
I'd say we do 3 meetings a week.
Okay.
You know, we could use more, but
Just at 6 when everybody gets started?
yeah, when the meetings would happen before, it'd talk about projects that we needed to get done. Now the communication, the information just travels differently. Looking for a squeegee sharpener. Anybody out there selling a squeegee sharpener? I'm in the market for a squeegee sharpener and an ink mixer.
Got it.
Yeah.
Comment down below and Ty will take it off your
Put
hands.
that in there. That's wild. You like the outtakes.
Let's check out the ink department. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Brian, you print your labels? Okay.
How do you deal with that? Like allowing people, is it just after hours to let them come in?
It's just very few. I've known Brian for a long time.
Got it.
You know, there's only one other brand that's just getting going that I've kind of given him a little bit of the run, but he generally doesn't come in and print anything. But I was thinking about having some open houses, like, I don't know about like putting up some flyers, getting in touch with there's a lot of big art schools around here. I see a bunch of artists from some of the brands. They have really big art departments. They'll have like 10, 15 people in the art department. They've come by and done printing, and that's been the greatest thing because they usually don't know anything about printing. They've come out of art school, they've got this gig with this brand, and then they're kind of perplexed why the tech pack's not working or certain things. So when you have them come in and actually see the physical process, why are they so upset about the art size?
That's a great idea for your customers you could start with.
Oh yeah, have them come in and print something.
Get some food.
Especially if their tech packs need a little tweaking, you know, like, or if they're not sure what the actual size is. Like, is it 14 inches? Is it 16 inches? Is it 12 inches? If you make that mistake, this is all the labor that goes involved and all the time and energy and passion into the, you know, the art, and then to get it on press just to see that it's the wrong size. You know, that hit home with some of the guys, you know, with some of the artists that we work with. But here's our immaculate art department.
So what is notice these numbers. You've got 1, 2, 3. What's all this for?
That's for the press.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this is lining it up, and then it's spaced out. So these are together, and then this is another job, or?
The jobs are ready to go. They come here, the ink gets mixed, the ink gets put in the screen. Like, this is our sequential steps that we're starting to enforce. I don't want to use enforce, but we're starting to recommend and really kind of make it a little bit stricter of how everything moves through the shop.
Got it.
There was a lot of improvisation before, and so screens might end up at the press but with no ink in them, no squeegees or flood bars pulled, and just to make things easier for all of us, it just goes through a process. So they come here, there's clearly marked, you know, very clearly and professionally marked, but it looks like he has the design name, front and back. These might be burned together. It's 11 screens, and there's more information on the screen of what sequence it is, but we'll put, before it makes it to the press, there needs to be ink in the screen. So our press operator isn't waiting or looking for ink. Squeegees and flood bars is the next problem that we need to solve, because every press operator...
What if you need to add more ink though? Or like, where's that bucket stored? Is that here?
Yeah, like just to get the print started, there'll be enough ink to get it started.
Okay.
And if they can see that it's a big run, but it's just to get it started, to get the strike off. You're kind of catching us in the middle of a transition. We're trying to be more specific about the minutia, the flow, the actual system in which we do things. And so
that's a good idea.
Having a chaotic shop of just get it done, to starting to put that in, I can actually see the stress from the team starting to alleviate, and there's a little bit more relaxed. Okay, I'm just gonna go do what's ready. That's like the new slogan, like just do what's ready, and if it's not ready, we need to fix that. Yeah, so the next issue we're trying to solve is press operators have their own preference of what squeegees they want to use. So how do we have a selection of squeegees ready for them? And then there's been discussion of some guys like duller squeegees and some guys like sharp squeegees. So I think if you could use me at all as an example, it would be a kind of a chaotic, really turn and burn shop to trying to go to more, having a lot more systems. And so maybe it's easier to start out with very precise systems. We only print with 160. I've heard of that, right? I've heard shops say we only use 160 mesh and that's it. So they don't have to pick, they don't have to make, nobody has to make a decision or take the time to make a decision of what other mesh counts to use. So I could definitely see the value of that. Start limiting the amount of decisions people have to make, and things just start moving faster.
And do you store all the colors in, or as many as you can?
Yeah, they should all fit on the wall. I would need to double check to see that we need to recycle or just go through and make sure that we don't have any empty pans. But we're trying to get in a inventory system, A, B, C, D, and numerically, so we can find it. Using an ink inventory system so we know where everything is, and it's not very hard to find.
So would you say that's what's next, is just total focus this year, dialing in more process, making it easier on the team, trying to measure that efficiency, which I find really cool?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And would you say like that's your responsibility, or is there a production manager that reports to you, or how does that work to really get it done?
At least for my particular situation, it's actually a pretty complex problem to look at. I've tried to push it off, but it is, I would say it's my responsibility. You can go out and sell a ton, just a ton of work, but if you can't get it done efficiently, there's no sense in doing that.
Especially doing contract, yeah.
Yeah. We definitely don't work with the people with the tightest margins. I believe in not fighting for the bottom. You know, we have turned away customers that are too cheap. There's price lists that still exist that would put us out of business, and we just don't deal with that.
Thank you so much, Ty. We're at Cole Apparel. Wow, there's not much to follow. Do you post stuff online?
Every once in a while.
A little bit
Our
on
Instagram is up.
You guys can reach out to Ty then, or just at the trade shows. You're always hanging out at the trade shows, which is super cool.
Getting into trouble.
Nice. Right? Thank you guys for listening. This is another shop tour. I'm Bruce from Printavo. We'll see you in the next one.